You guessed it, another mail call. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and today I've got another mail call. I've actually got several boxes. This video is going to be about this one. But before I get into that, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And of course, always please hit the little bell so you can get notified for all my videos if you don't already have that turned on. All right, so this box came from a store out in California. Goes by the name A-1 Comics. And I was actually put on by these guys from a friend of mine, Hella Comics. It's his local comic shop over in California, and the guys are awesome over there. They are so cool. They do these really cool auctions every Wednesday and every Friday. Basically, ever since the whole shutdown with COVID and everything, they've been on pretty consistently. So I know Instagram, they do one for every Wednesday, and then on Fridays their Facebook one that they do. So I'm an Instagram guy, so I do catch the ones on Wednesday. I usually don't catch the Friday ones, partially because I'm catching up on some other people's shows and whatnot. But highly recommend you guys check them out. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook. I will put their information in the description below. And so big shout out to you guys, A1 Comics, Wes, and the rest of the crew. Thank you guys. I'm going to open this bad boy up now, and we're going to take a look, see what we got. Okay, so this box actually had 2 books in it, but I do want to show a third book off, and this book I got about a week and a half, probably 2 weeks prior, and it's just one I haven't made a video for yet. Once I knew I was buying these other books, I figured I'll just combine them. So the first book that I'm going to show you guys, this is Amazing Spider-Man. It's a Todd McFarlane issue from issue number 315. It is the final issue that I've been looking for in this small run that Todd McFarlane did on the original Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1. I've been collecting these now for a little less than 2 years, and I've been looking for all newsstands. So it was really cool. This was, like I said, this was a couple weeks ago, and they had this. I remember they were, when they had the auction up, they were doing this, and they were going in order. So they started with $2.98. And I remember at that point, now they're on the West Coast, right? They're in Sacramento. So I remember thinking like, all right, well, they were at like, 300, 301. And I started to notice some of them were newsstands, some of them weren't, and that they were putting up for sale. And it was very late on the East Coast, and I had work the next day. But I decided, well, I'm going to ride this out. I'm going to see if they have this one particular issue that is the last one that I needed, number 315. So I ended up staying up till like a little after midnight, and they finally got to 315. It was towards the end of their run. They do their auctions, their claim sales for a good amount of hours. I would say 3 to 5 hours or so, but it's on their time. So I stayed up a little later. It was well worth it. They actually had 2 copies of this, and I was lucky enough to. I remember I had the word claim written out, ready to go. Claim 315, whatever the next letter was that they were going to put the book on. And since there were 2, I had to clarify that I wanted the newsstand. And I remember the other one that they had was more of I think it was like a 9.6 candidate. This was, I think this is more of a 9.4, 9.2, 9.4 candidate, which I didn't care. I mean, it's still amazing. Actually, I think this was, I don't have it labeled on here now, but I think this is more of a 9. And the other one was like a 9.4 or 9.6 candidate. But the other one was a newsstand. I wanted the newsstand. For you guys who've been following me on Instagram, you guys know I've been trying to collect this run from Amazing Spider-Man 298 all the way through 328. So finally, I was able to get this, and very excited. And yeah, like I said, it's a really nice book. It's the spine is very clean. I mean, and for this is being that it's a white cover. A white cover, those are like, they're hard to keep clean. So definitely this has stayed out of the sun. This doesn't have any baking, any tan lines or anything like that. So very happy that I have this in the collection. And at some point I will do another video where I can show off the full run of Todd McFarlane's ASM now that I have them all. Put them all in nice Mylar and show those off. But anyways, so thanks for this one. This, like I said, this was not in the box that I just opened, but I did want to show. I did want to take a moment to show this book off. So yeah, we'll dive into the next one. All right, so the first book of the 2 that came in the box, this is Fantastic Four issue number 66. This is the origin of him, aka Adam Warlock. And I know that for anyone who's hunting down keys for Adam Warlock, I know it's kind of a pain because there's so many different ones in terms of this being his origin, and yet his first full appearance didn't come out till after this. Then he goes by the name Adam Warlock, and you have to find that over in Thor 165. Then he has his first full title by himself. There's a lot of different keys, I guess, that you could say for Adam Warlock, aka him. But this one is one of my favorite ones. And this is his origin. So I actually read this issue 66 and 67 a couple months ago, and I have to say it is some of the best stuff. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, just awesome Silver Age. This came out 67, I think. And yeah, just seeing the relationship that Ben has with the whole team, and just the struggles that he deals with. He's this super strong guy who can move mountains, essentially, right? But when it comes to trying to rescue Alicia, he is essentially helpless. And you really see that in this issue as he has to really lean on the team, especially Reed, to help him figure out how to get to this other world that she's in, using science. And in the meantime, as he just sits in the lab, he's just chilling, yelling at Reed, basically, just like, come on, man, you got to help me figure this out. Don't give up on, getting me into this other world. Once we find out who these guys are, I'm going to crush them. He just talks about how frustrated and you can see how angry he is, and in a way feeling helpless because his strength doesn't do anything in the time in which he can't actually be in the world that Alicia is in. So I've been wanting it for a while. It's in really nice condition. It's about a 5.5. And I know that issue 66 is more of the bigger book to get, but 67, but 66 for me, this is a book I've been wanting for a long time, and certainly is a little more on the priority list than 67. So it's a great read. Highly recommend if you guys haven't read this yet. Issue number 66, going into 67. Very good stuff. I haven't read some of the other Adam Warlock stuff yet, but at some point I do plan on getting over to that. So like I said, gorgeous artwork. I like this cover too, by the way, way more than 67. I know, like I said, 67 is the hot book, but I actually like this cover a lot more. I like seeing the two of them, the couple on here. As you can see, Ben kind of just showing his frustration that they essentially could be near each other, and yet he can't do anything until he can figure out a way to properly get to where she is. So his strength does nothing in this sense. So very cool issue, very, very cool issue. Highly recommend. So thank you guys for hooking me up with that, with a great deal. Second book that I want to show here that came in this box is it's a big boy, and I'm very excited to have this in the PC. I didn't think I would, and at some point I will probably get it graded because it is raw. But this is issue number 49, and for those of you who are not familiar with this Jack Kirby goodness from the 60s, from 1966, this is the first full appearance of Galactus, and also the second appearance of Silver Surfer. It's also Silver Surfer's first cover appearance. And if anyone's seen this, you might have just seen this cover and recognized it. Just there's so many homages to this and cover swipes that recent artists have taken and kind of copied. And this is just an iconic cover, and I love it. So it's about a VG. Really nice condition for what I was expecting to find it as, and especially again for the price that they had it, could not beat it. It was definitely a good deal. So A-1 Comics, thank you so much for this book. Man, I mean, I still need to get 48, and maybe get, I guess I got to get 50, right? So just to have the run. So, but yeah, certainly gonna, have this up on the wall behind me. And maybe get it graded at some point. Would love to know what you guys think of this book. Would love to know what you guys think of the potential of Galactus maybe entering into the MCU at some point. I think that would be amazing. I love Galactus as a character. I love that they still use him in current comics right now. Some of the stuff that I like, the stuff that Jason Aaron did with him in Thor. If you guys read some of that stuff from 2012, 2013, the earlier Thor stuff that Jason Aaron worked on, with Assad Ribic. Amazing stuff. And Galactus makes an appearance in there. He has a full storyline in there that he goes against Thor, and it's a really cool issue. So, anyways, Galactus is a really cool cover, really cool character, and this is just such an iconic cover. So, very happy to have this in the PC now, and yeah, man, another big one in the books. So. All right, guys, so there you have it. A-1 Comics with some killer books that they sent me, some awesome deals. Again, check them out on Instagram and Facebook. Their information will be in the description below. They do their claim sales on Wednesdays on Instagram and Fridays on Facebook. They usually do a preview video or two to kind of show some of the books that are about to be in the claim sale that evening. So highly recommend just following them just to get all the latest news and stuff. They seem like some really awesome people out there over in Sacramento. Definitely plan to, at some point when I can travel again out to the West Coast, we'll definitely be hitting up that store. So A-1 Comics, Wes, and the rest of the crew there, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. If you guys like this video, please take a moment again to like the actual video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And in the meantime, just a reminder, every Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, I do go live on Instagram to talk about some really cool topics in the industry while also doing some other unboxings. So would love to see you over there. And until then, I'll talk to you guys soon.